Hello, hello. Give me the next 5 minutes and I'll show you why your hot flashes, fatigue, and midlife symptoms feel unpredictable and what's actually happening inside your body when everything suddenly shifts, especially this time of year. Everyone is going havoc about the experience in the travel, the vacation, the time, the end of the year budget, and family and demand. So, my name is Dr. Evan Lee Ellis, and I help women in their 30s through 60s understand their hormones, reclaim their energy, and feel steady in their bodies. Again, through evidence based integrative medicine and longevity focused care. So, welcome. My commitment today is to turn something overwhelming into something understandable. When we don't understand something, don't have the knowledge of how things work, we got frustrating about why am I feeling this way? Have you felt that before? So you deserve to know what your body is doing and why without fear, shame, or confusion. The clarity of knowing it, how your body works, will give you that certainty of what to do next. So stay with me because once you understand what's driving your hot flashes, exhaustion, and midlife symptoms, the entire picture starts to make sense. And this is a very short, little, quick session. And in January, I will do a 3-day live challenge so I can explain the entire pathway and bring the question to that time. So in the description, I will also put that link for you to sign up. So let's talk about what's happening in the body. Number one, hot flashes are a sign your thermostat is glitching, not failing. So what do we mean by a thermostat? Our body have a brainstem that have the anterior pituitary, the organ that release a lot of hormone triggering the organs to release the next level of hormone for it to work. So as estrogen fluctuates, the part of your brain that regulates temperature becomes more sensitive. What used to be a small shift in temperature now feels like a full body heat wave, like flushing, sweating, sudden warmth in your chest and face. This isn't your body breaking, not like fever, is your body trying to recalibrate during hormonal shifts. Now, we talk about not like fever. So remember those fever experience like with your kid or yourself, and you feel like sweating profusely. And where does it come from? Because in that thermostat, that temperature trigger, it just triggered that it goes too high. And that will drive the storm of your immune function, your inflammation pathway, everything else. So this the night sweat, the hot flush is not as strong compared to that fever experience. It feels like you just feel hot. You need to sweat to cool that heat down. So, what can you do today? Avoid blood sugar spikes in the evening. For example, if in your pantry you have some simple glucose like candies, cookies, anything high carb that is not plant based, just be careful. A protein forward dinner reduces a nighttime heat surges that wake you up drenched. Now, a few women come to me and also say, I just wake up and I feel hungry. What is going on? I feel like my body is leaving me. What is going on? And sometimes with a little piece of protein, with like apple or any almond butter, is very helpful to keep that blood sugar stabilized. We don't want things to spike. We want things to stabilize. So therefore you can really sleep through the night. And to be more biotechnology, you can also wear it called the continuous glucose monitor. If some of you out there are in the pre-diabetes or diabetes range, that can be very helpful to track what to eat and what to avoid. And the next step is talk to the provider to talk about what can you substitute. So now let's move to number two. Fatigue is hormonal overload, not laziness or aging. If your family tell you, mom or grandma, why you can't remember things from yesterday, especially young kids usually ask that to the adult. And sorry out there if I say something about young kids, but at the same time, if you're in my position or my mom or my sister position, you know what it is. And it's not about you giving up what you used to do. Fatigue is that your body is telling you there is something over the threshold you cannot handle, and that is okay. And we want to understand what is beneath that before we enter the realm of feeling shame, feeling guilty, and other people shame us or guilty us. Let's take a break, step back, and explain and understand why. So, when estrogen and progesterone dip, cortisol often rises to compensate. Cortisol is a stress hormone, and estrogen progesterone is the sex hormones. All of them are the category is in the hormone. So this creates a classic midlife fatigue pattern. Low energy in the morning, a crash in the afternoon, and a second wind at night when you are supposed to winding down. And some women, they can just not stop thinking, even though their body is just so tired because the cortisol they compensate to the dip of your sex hormone. Now the curve of cortisol flip. Cortisol is supposed to be high in the morning, low at night. When your threshold is hit, your body telling you, I'm feeling tired in the morning, crash in the middle of the night, and at nighttime, why am I tired body? That is when your cortisol level have to fatigue in a way where they cannot release the efficient level anymore. So you're not imagining it. Your stress hormones are working over time. And imagine, so for a lot of people who work for a company where they love overtime work, right? Or night shift worker. And those are the time when the monetary thing is very helpful for the future financial support. When we do it too much and we don't understand how our body responds to things or to handle things, we overload our body system and it's off the balance, it's off the homeostasis. So what we want to do is slow down, step back. I'm not telling you to like don't do it anymore. It's your choice. Now, still, health is a choice, right? Which weight that you want to have a benefit out of the risk. So, what is simple action we can take? Take 2 slow breathing cycles before you get out of bed in the morning. It lowers your cortisol spikes and helps stabilize your energy. Now, every time I wake up in the morning, my window have a very big view of the skyline and the trees and the houses in the back. And I'm just like, okay, today is a rainy day. How do I choose to feel? Or today is a shiny, beautiful blossom day. It's just automatically go feel happier. But for those days that is darker and gloomy in Washington, we have to consciously choose of how do we want to feel. And from that, with the action of slow breathing cycle, we were able to synchronize our heart rate and our breath. And that's called heart rate variability. A lot of women or patients tell me that they have the Oura ring, which is helpful for tracking your data, which is your heart rate throughout 24/7, temperature, that's a good thing. Your blood glucose can also measure, and your breath, which is a heart rate variability as well. And we want it to be synchronized. We don't want it to be a big gap, right? The heart and the breath can trigger and synchronize together through the respiratory system, and the oxygen and the CO2 is balanced off. If those are off of the get air, then the heart will be triggered to be getting more air. So yesterday I have a podcast with the tax relief expertise, and she talked about this season of December to April. Not only the tax filer, also the tax preparer, everyone is so stressful. So these techniques of information of breath work can be very helpful. And I will drop that link for your reference as well, about 5 different tools that I teach into that section. So that could be very helpful. So just to practice a little bit, slow breathing cycles. When we wake up in the morning, we already just think about what to do next. Or some of us feel like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to sleep more. I'm going to feel so sad or depressed. I actually wouldn't want to feel anything because I feel achy and joint ache. It happened, right? So what I would like you to do is take a deep breath through your nose for 4 seconds. Breathe out for 8 seconds out through your mouth. Let's do one more time. Breathe in through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now do it one more time for yourself. Breathe in. Breathe out. Some people would hold in between a breathe in and breathe out. That hold can be 4 seconds. Breathe out can be 4 seconds. Therefore, the hold and the exhale are almost similar to trigger the parasympathetic system to help us digest and rest. And when you actually do things, make decisions, take action, when you're really calm and clear-minded, is a very different consequences compared to when you make a decision, say something when you are stressed in the fight or flight mode. The more we are in that parasympathetic system, the more balance and feel calm that we can have. If a life, you imagine that we can live a long life, imagine one life is calm, relaxed, contemplative, at least you know what decision you make and you're in control, versus another life of being all over rambunctious of timing. Other people control your time and you have to go here and there because of other people demand without boundary. How would that feel differently? And there's so many layers of this. This is just 2 examples. You got to choose, and that is a beauty of this. So let's talk about teaching point number 3. Midlife symptoms are your body's communication system, not random chaos. Many of us thinking, oh my God, I'm turning 40s. Someone unplug me. What is going on? I don't feel like myself again. And these are the beginner thinking before you enter into somewhat explaining what happened to us. And that is completely normal. At least you know how to feel. So definitely have the compassion and empathy of how other people would feel in your same boat. And the more you learn, the more you really get understanding. And your body and yourself is actually the medicine. I always teach this to everyone come into my exam room, because no matter how much we provider give you the guide, if you choose not to follow or if you decide to deviate a little bit, it's still a choice and nothing wrong with it. You got to make your own decision and you got to go with it and see what the consequences look like. And for me, for my example, I love experimenting about health and about what I use, because back in college, I was in the biochemistry and we do a lot of experiment about culture, about antibiotics, and about resistance. It was fun. And what I learned is we have to have a notebook and we track everything we did for that day. And we go back to find out if that method worked or did not, and what happened when we deviate. And when that's leading to a certain step, we move back to the previous and then we deviate a little bit and move to another consequences. So that is similar to health. If you do the activity like you run, you aim for weight loss, and you work out, you incorporate other things, the right thing, and your body doesn't lose or shed a body fat, then you know at least you do that work. So there's no room for shame. There's no room for guilt. There's no room for other noises. You did the work compared to other people who did not. So that's the biggest win. And we celebrate those micro wins and pivot to what else can we do differently to really help our body, because every body system, the framework similar, but the way that your body responds is very different and depend on genetic, epigenetic, which is the genetic expression of your gene, or environmental toxin, where you were born, where you live in this state or any other places in the world. That all come as factors. So let's talk about brain fog, mood shifts, weight changes, and sleep disruption are signals that your hormones, nervous system, and metabolism are being asked to operate under new rules. Have you heard a statement where your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, Nothing decades is the same. You have to adapt to the new life event and you change. And in fact, women body change so much. We go through like giving birth or postpartum. Men, they have that high testosterone, so they're very stable. And they the one can reflect of how much we change. And when the relationship is strong enough, when the bond that we respect each other, men will also give us a feedback and we can appreciate and love ourselves. And the point is, I see a lot of women in midlife, they either isolate themselves from family don't understand each other, no more good sex with husband and disappoint a husband. But when you really share what your body is going through, then your family will appreciate, oh, one day the son will go through the same situation from home, or their loved one too. So it just create that compassion, and the humanity will interact with each other, and we naturally will have that feeling for each other. Now, let alone that statement, some family situation is very different. And if you have any more severe complication situation, please reach out to mental health counselor, mental health support provider, so they can be on your team care. My point is, I would love you to have a support from community care, and don't live just alone. Don't deal with it alone. It's something you can handle, and us can help support you. So your body is not failing you, it's adapting, recalibrating, and asking for different support than it needed in your 20s and 30s. And you remember those workouts, because when we were younger in 20s, 30s, we do a lot of cardios, and everyone is just doing cardios and weight. Until you get to 40, 50, those are reduced in severity or the duration, but the heavy or duration of the workout intensity, actually the word intensity, in your 40s, 50 or 60 are higher compared to when you were younger. So you shift from more cardio centric plus other workout, cardio, stretching, mindfulness, into heavier, stronger intensity of lifting or resistance training to support bone health and muscle mass, because we lose muscle mass very fast every decade of life for women. So that's a shift. And I strongly encourage, if you work with a personal trainer or any type of workout, make sure they understand what it looks like and need for women in your age and what's your body type. So let's take a simple action. At your next meal, take one bite of protein first. That activates a steadier glucose response that help reduce brain fog, mood swing, and cravings. And so that's the teaching for today. If you want clear right guidance on how to navigate hot flashes, fatigue, and midlife symptoms, join my community. I will drop in the description for that, and you can go to the thread about Power Up Life in the morning and ask the question during this section of life. I will answer those for you. And every week, I will do these live sections for about 10 to 15 minutes for momentum, morning momentum session. Next time, going to be on the 23rd of December. So where we will reset your stress response and walk through the real question women submit. Okay, so if you're ready to feel more in control of your body and less confused by your symptom, that's the next step. I'll see you next time.